What's up, Mark? Quick demo video for you for your high ground by SP Sabers and Props. I just got this done today. I will do a small repair on your other saber on the speaker over the weekend, and then I'll wrap up the singular sound font that you wanted to send me for this guy, and we'll get this out in the mail to you probably Monday. But there's enough done here to do a demo right now. This installed the Proffie. It's got the chassis that I designed for Sean for this run. 2-button setup, so your front switch will be your activation, your back will be your auxiliary. You've got stock V3s in there for your main pixel PCB, and then how you get to everything is just want to unscrew the pommel. So we'll take this off real quick. Once you take this off, you'll see your chassis, but it's not going to come out until you take this silver one, the silver greebly, and unscrew it. Just want to unscrew it here, and then your chassis will slide out just like that. And this is what you've got here, right? You've got your Proffie board here. You've got access to your micro USB and your SD card. You can do all that without ever moving the board. Although it's not adhesed down right now, I may do that before I send it out, just so it stays in place. You've got a Smuggler's Outpost 28mm. This is the Elite speaker in here. And then you've got the SO Switch Pixel PCB set. So you've got a 14-pin PCB in there that doesn't come out. And then, of course, it matches up to this. There was some questions from some people that got this chassis why I chose to go with this PCB set instead of just like a normal blade side PCB. That's because I wanted the option to control the 16 LEDs that are on this PCB, which I've done on yours. I wired them separately so I can show you how it works. You can program them to do whatever you want. I program these to do something different only on the first Obiwan font that you've got, and then the rest of them, they'll just match the blade. But I just wanted to show you that they could be programmed to do anything you want, right? It's just a second blade style on your config, and that's why I did that. Since the switches are in the main chassis, you've got your auxiliary here and your power over here. That actually freed up 3 solder points on this PCB for me to do whatever I want. So I just used one of those and wired these LEDs separately, and then I defined a shared power pins on the config file, right? And that's how you do that. I didn't really answer any of those questions until now. I wanted to get one in my hands and install it, and I'll make this video and then I explain it one time, right? But we'll put a battery in this guy, and we'll put it in. You want to make sure that your switches on your chassis are lined up with your control box. Slide that right in. And then when you do that, you'll notice right above your Proffie board, you've got this piece right here. It's got a hole in it. That is for that silver greebly that we unscrewed, right? So when you line those up properly, slide it all the way in. Kind of want to hold it down with your fingers, and then come over here and screw that greebly back in. Once you screw that back in, then you can see those LEDs. It's a little hard to tell on camera, but I've got them rotating. It's a slow rotate until it turns on. And then they're going fast in reverse, right? We'll turn it off. And it's going back to being slow rotating. I just wanted to give you some extra lights to play around with in case you wanted to try some different things, but they are on a timer, so they won't stay doing this, right? If you keep the saber off, they'll go out eventually. Matter of fact, we'll just kind of hang out for a second until they go off so that you can see that they do. A couple more seconds and they'll go off. Just like that. So yeah, they're on a timer, right? And you can choose to have them on a timer or not. I choose to try to do that in case people just want to set this down. Those things aren't constantly going and draining your battery. But anyway, we can hit our power. Auxiliary. These will flash with every time you hit auxiliary. You have twist off. And then we'll put a blade in this guy. To put a blade in, you just want to unscrew this top piece of your emitter. Once you unscrew that, you'll see 2 blade retention screws. We're going to go ahead and use them both. Take that off. What you want to do with this piece Just take your blade. It takes a 1-inch diameter neopixel blade. Slip it over your blade like that. And then we'll come down here and we'll put this on. And we'll lock down both blade retentions. You have a set of 3 Allen keys that came with this saber. And of course, they'll be in your kit, you know, when I send this back. Make sure those are tight. Then we'll take that emitter piece and drop it back down. And then we can screw it on. Once you've got it screwed all the way on, come over here and you can hit power or activation. Holds it very well for being a thin neck saber. You don't have an incredible amount of blade depth, but with those 2 blade retention screws and this added piece in the emitter, it holds the blade very well. You got good flash on flash. Auxiliary. To get blade lock up, you want to hold aux and hit the saber at the same time. See if I can do it. Just like that. So now my blade lockup is here, and it will change as you rotate the saber up and down. As the saber goes up, the blade lockup comes in, and then back over this way, it kind of goes out towards the tip of the blade. You can kind of see it right there, right? The difference in my hand. And then when you don't want it anymore, just let go. Right, we'll twist off. To get to your soundtrack, it's a long press on the activation. And then the same thing to turn it off. Long press. And you can almost see, I mean, I could see them. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but you can see your LEDs still going even when the blade is off. Right? And then change sound fonts, we just hit auxiliary. This one's a solid red. Blade lock up. We'll turn it off just like that, and then we'll take the blade out and go over taking the battery out. It's really easy to do. Just want to unscrew the top of this emitter piece again. Move it up on your blade, and we'll loosen both of those blade retention screws. You will want to make sure that you use both of these blade retentions so that your blade's nice and solid. Right? We'll pop this emitter piece off. And screw it back onto the saber. These threads are very small. So just take your time, make sure you don't cross thread anything, and then it'll go right on. It's nice and smooth. And then again, we'll come over here and we'll unscrew this guy to loosen that chassis, and then we can take the pommel off. Make sure your chassis doesn't come flying out. Pull it right out, and then from the positive side of the battery, which is over here by the board, right here, you can pop it out with your finger just like that. And that's pretty much your high ground. Let me know if you got any questions, and if not, I will get this out in the mail to you with your other saber by Monday. All right, thanks.